Hi, I'm Brandon. I love When Calls the Heart.
Hi, I'm Jax, and I like When Calls the Heart.
I'm Dan, and I despise When Calls the Heart, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Wow. Hello, everybody. Happy Hump Day.
That's right. Happy Easter, according to When Calls the Heart.
Happy Hump Day, happy Easter, and officially, Dan, you can say it this time.
Hump Day?
Happy May.
Happy May.
Happy May.
It was going to be May for a while.
It's been May for you for a long time, but it is finally actually May.
Just since Monday. I missed it by 2 days, guys. I wanted it to be May so badly, and it wasn't. I said it was May on Monday, and I was wrong. But it is now today.
Happy May to you, Jax.
You guys do seem like those kind of guys that would be really into the Justin Timberlake meme that's like, it's going to be May.
How dare you? How dare you?
You know that was me just trying to start a fight.
Yeah, how dare you, first of all. I've never shared that in my life, not once, first of all.
When I first saw it, I did think it was pretty funny. It is.
When was that, 10 years ago? Yeah, no, 10
It
years
is funny.
ago.
When you first see it, it is funny.
Yeah, because the way he says it.
Yeah. It's gonna be May.
It's going to be May.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
It's like May the 4th be with you.
No, that's never been.
The first time you saw it, you weren't like, that's clever. Yeah, at least like give the nod.
In my head, I just thought, how's no one said it before? That's always just been there.
Yeah.
I never even thought about it.
That's coming up too.
Yeah, Star
Are
Wars
you a
Day.
Star Wars fan, Jax?
No.
Okay.
I pretended for years because I had a boyfriend in high school that liked Star Wars, and I just didn't care about my own identity. What about you guys?
I watched the originals growing up a lot. I don't know anything about the expanded universe, but I've seen all the movies that came to the theaters.
I have realized about myself that I'm not big into like world building movies. Dune doesn't do anything for me. Lord of the Rings, hate it,
Dune
whatever. No, I didn't. Couldn't make it through Dune 1. And so I shouldn't like Star Wars, but it is kind of the exception to the rule for me. There is something about it that it just works for me. I don't freak out about it, but when they brought it back, whatever. When did the new trilogy come out? What was the first one?
7 years ago.
Whenever that first one came out, and the music kicked, I got goosebumps. When I was in the theater, it was the last time I was in a jam-packed theater. Like one of those, and it was before Greenville got assigned seating, so you had to show up early. That's still, right. And it was the opening night, and the music kicks. Like it's a great moment.
I mean, everyone can appreciate a John Williams score. I think everybody can appreciate that. And you know, Jax, that we're going to be covering all the Star Wars movies on Deck the Hallmark
later this year.
With
Forced
Ryan Pappola.
Fridays.
Forced Fridays. That's right. So that's exciting.
You know, I love Ryan.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? I
mean, come on.
I think this weekend might be the weekend that I watch one of these with my kids.
Really?
I think.
The problem is that, I mean, we may do the Star Wars thing at the trampoline park.
Yeah.
May go do that.
Well, because I told you.
I made this big deal about them being 8, and that being a part of being 8 is getting to watch Star Wars. And so if I do it early, I feel like I just
told them that.
Yes.
Well, I was just going to ask you, what is the appropriate age to introduce Star Wars to your kids?
I grew up in a house where I could go to the theater. We didn't go to the theater because it costs a lot of money. We never went. I mean, before I was 10, maybe went to the theater 5 times. I can tell you the movies that I saw in the theaters before I was 10 years old. The Star Wars was the exception to that. Like, we had all the VHS tapes. We watched them all the time at home, and some of that stuff was not appropriate.
Because it's such an interesting thing, because the violence is so, like, it's just not. Yeah. It's fake. There's no, like, language. It is as clean of a thing that you could really hope for. That's also, like, as a kid, you're like, this is awesome. This is amazing.
But the new ones are PG-13. The old ones are PG. Yeah. And so there is that. But, like, I don't know. I just decided at 8 to show my kids to see what they thought. Like, I would think that they may hate them.
My 6-year-old would have been too young, but then he saw it at a restaurant. It was on, and he was so pumped, and he was like in, and he was all about it. So I don't know.
But when the Emperor's face gets all crazy and he does the electrocution, is that going to call
That's right.
That is the big question for me. Is when we watch Return of the Jedi, are my kids going to be up all night? Like, there's a chance they're going to be up all night. But because that was etched in my, like when I was 6, I remembered the Emperor's face going nuts as he shocks the you know what out of Luke. I remember that.
Is it gonna be problematic though if I show Grizz and like he starts going like, hey guys, have you seen it? And there's like, hey, he's not is that gonna be a thing?
You do.
I know, but typically you guys are ahead because your boys are older.
Older, that's right.
This would be, I feel like, probably the first time that's happened where it's like, hey, I got an 8-year-old thing.
No.
Grizz is doing an 8-year-old thing, Dad.
No. You can show it to him whenever you want to.
I don't want to cause a ruckus because I know once your kids are like mine, where it's like, hey, when they really want something, they'll just keep asking about it.
Over and over.
Say,
again.
hey, Grizz did it. Grizz did it. Grizz. I don't want to cause an annoyance for you.
Oh no,
I'm just looking out.
About it.
I'm just
Listen,
looking out.
we got my kid's birthday's in under a month. We're fine. That's why I'm so excited about May. Come on.
It's going to be May.
That's
what
May.
we're trying to
It's
say.
what we're saying.
It is May. Jax, you got any big May plans? I feel like May is kind of like right on the edge there of summer. Is it starting to warm up in New York?
It is a lovely day today.
Oh, good.
Wow.
It's beautiful. The sun is shining. I'm in a little spring dress.
Look at you.
I'm ready to just get out there and just get a tan maybe for the first time in my life.
First time in your life you've waited till this moment.
I don't tan. I burn, but I think I'm going to do it this season.
You're going to go for it anyway?
Have you thought about this, or did you just say it out loud and now you're going to try to make it a reality?
So I had a friend who said to me, she's like, I just think everyone looks a little bit better when they're tanner. And I was like, that's fair. So then she said this 2 days ago. It got in my head. So now I'm going to go for it. By the time I come to Bramble Fest, you're going to be like, wow.
So there's a lot of ways though that you could go about getting tan. Like you could get like a spray, or like go to a tanning bed.
The spray seems tricky.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'd be streaky.
Okay.
But isn't there like, haven't they gotten that figured out at this point?
I mean, they should have. To be honest, I've never looked into it because I've always been okay with being an Irish
both
rose.
going to go get spray tans for Bramble Fest, right?
Yeah. How about we all go get spray tans together?
You show up and we all go when you get off the plane.
I would love it.
That's
That's the event when I arrive.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Instead of a dinner at the Chop House, we're going to all go get spray tans.
Spray tans.
That's right.
Spray tans with the gang. Let's talk about
to the Chop House.
It's either one or the other. It's either one or the other. Chop House or spray tans. Yes, Aaron?
If we choose not to get a spray tan, can we still go to the Chop House?
The thing is since we added the VIP dinner, we don't do the Chop House anymore. So that's the thing is we let people come a night early and we all do an open bar dinner with them instead of the Chop House.
We still did it.
We went, but we couldn't do the Chop House in that amount of time. We did that because it's close. We'll probably do something like that.
Well, we didn't do the. I was thinking just like a nice dinner out.
Oh yeah, we'll still make that work.
Doing spray tans, like Brian and I will go get dinner
on the Saturday. On the Saturday before the evening, we're going to take the talent out.
What was really nice about the VIP dinner last year is not only was it great company and great food, it was also like we were in a sweat lodge.
Yeah, so it was like
I felt. Yeah. Like I was healthy.
You were drinking margaritas, burning calories. It was just a win. It's a win-win all the way around. You went to dinner last year with us on Saturday at Sobeys, which is like a Greenville staple. Great. That's right. Mm-hmm. So we'll do something like that. And I think it could be a both and.
Maybe we'll go somewhere with a tan.
What you're saying, you don't want to get a spray tan, Aaron? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I love the pale look. There's less chance of getting any type of skin cancer, less chance of a burn. Jax, I think if you don't want a tan, you look beautiful and you could just embrace your pale skin.
Yeah.
No, honestly, Aaron, you convinced me.
Wow. That was such a short-lived.
It didn't seem like it was going to be tough.
I'm an Irish Rose, you're an Irish Rose. We'll just hang out at Bramble Fest with our pale skin and laugh at how streaky Dan and Bran look.
I was only getting a spray tan to support Jax.
I'm not going if Jax isn't going.
To get one.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Go.
I don't need y'all to join me.
That's right.
I'm going to look awesome.
Yeah.
You're going to look at that guy and you're going to be like, who's that? Is that Arnold? And I'm going to be like, no, it's just Bran. It's just Bran. No. Rick.
Who?
Rick.
Hello there.
Rick, how's my
2 days in a row.
I know you do a really good.
My ticket.
You do a really good Arnold.
I do an amazing Arnold.
How was did you hear mine?
Oh yeah, I heard it.
How
dog trash.
Oh.
What's the key to keep their trash?
What's the key to doing a good Arnold?
It's in the back of the throat.
Can you teach me?
See, can you do that? One more. Okay. And then you gotta go. No, you're getting off track there. Okay. Everybody stop listening. Here we go. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
You're useless. So it's no
Sorry.
help. Yeah. All right.
One Calls the Heart, season 11, episode 4. What's it called, Jax?
Jax is still here. This is unbelievable.
Along came a spider,
Good.
and I never figured it out.
It's the
never
woman
figured out why
that
that's
showed
the
up
title.
from Louisiana.
Is
I
that
believe.
what Jeanette?
Yes.
Jeanette's the spider?
I remembered
Jeanette's the
I
spider.
remembered the title too because I just thought there's no way this episode is going to be as interesting as the title, and I was correct. Also, that's a pretty fun Morgan Freeman movie if you've not seen it.
Yes, it's excellent.
It's really fun.
April 28th, 2024 is when it premiered and went a little something like this. It is time for the governor's Easter address, and the gang is all invited to come. Hope Valley is going to be there. Everyone thinks that it's as dumb as we think it is that he's doing an Easter address, and so that's encouraging. A lot of the announcement involve Hope Valley, which I'm sure will not be any sort of problem for anybody outside of Hope Valley. I'm sure they're going to hear about all the things Hope Valley's getting and be like, thumbs up. He's going to do an Easter egg hunt, and Elizabeth is going to help with this. Afterwards, she and Nathan walk, and they flirt, and they have a good time. I don't like saying the word flirt. It makes me feel. Does it sound weird coming from me?
Yeah, it did sound like you put a little extra emphasis on it.
I didn't like it.
I think you just are trying to figure out how to say
Flirt.
it and be normal.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm in my head about
if you
the word
say
flirt.
it with less of an emphasis, you just go and they flirt and
And
they
they-
have a good time. You don't add
when
anything.
you
Don't
said-
put any sauce on it.
when you
they
said it,
walk,
you
they
didn't-
flirt, they have a good time.
You don't think it's a weird word?
Not until this very moment.
It's a little bit of a weird word. Jax, is it a weird word?
I'm going to be very honest. It only sounds weird coming out of your mouth.
Doesn't it? It does sound weird.
And that's coming from
It
Jacklyn
does.
Collier.
But I'm glad that you're self-aware enough to know
They
that
walk
there's
and
something.
they flirt.
All right, let me try it one more. Let me try it one more time, and I'm not going to put any extra stank on.
Yeah,
Afterwards, she and Nathan walk and flirt together.
it's better.
That was better. I still
That
don't
worked
like
for
it.
me.
Sounded like you tried to rush through it on
Yeah, I
purpose.
did. Okay.
Yeah.
Afterwards-
They walk and they flirt and they blah, blah, blah.
Afterwards, she and Nathan, they walk, they flirt.
We'll get there. Take 5 is going to be amazing. Get to the chopper.
Elizabeth is having the kids paint eggs, and it turns out that it is through this process that Toby learns that he can do math. For those of you that were wondering, I wonder what Toby's up to this week. Bill is looking over the case file, and everything is checking out, except that there are only fingerprints on the handle of the gun, nowhere else. Bill and Rosemary both talk about how weird it is that there's no fingerprints anywhere else on the gun, almost as if they were put there to make it look like it was him.
Boom, boom.
So, in conclusion,
In the criminal justice system.
Bill and Rosemary have come to the conclusion that, and stop me if you've heard this before,
What?
Pike is taking the fall for someone else.
What?
I know.
Totally new information
I
that
know.
hasn't been covered in the previous 3.
Bill spots
Whoa.
Bill spots somebody driving into town, and they park, and it is a woman. We've not met her before. I met her. She claims to be an old friend of Lucas's. It's Jeanette from Nollins.
But you can call her Spider.
We all remember the story, Jeanette, and what her story is in
Yes.
relation to Lucas.
Do you
I don't
remember
need to
that?
explain it. I will kick it to Jack. So, Jax, explain the history of Jeanette and
how
why
important
she
she
matters.
is to the pantheon of When Calls the Heart.
Right. Okay, so she's the old widow that somehow helped out with a contact that she had when Elizabeth was in trouble with something.
Excellent job.
Good enough
Back
for
to
me.
you, Bran.
So, Lucas shows up and is shocked to see her there. She also she says that she wants to bid on the land. She wants to be the ones that do it, do the land. And is going to be sticking around for a little bit. Apparently, Frickham's sister is the mayor of Benson Hill. It's never come up before.
Never once.
But they need to all meet so they can talk about kind of when the resort is happening, how are they going to split that area that technically belongs to Benson Hill. Lucas spends the episode trying to make sure that Elizabeth doesn't know about Jeanette, and also just kind of seeming very shady. And it's good to be back to the times when Lucas was shady. We haven't
Because
been there in a while.
He's actually been the whole time. I don't know if I was on a Team Nathan subreddit the other night. It is He's been bad from day one. If you
There's
can believe it.
there's a subreddit that's just Team Nathan.
It's a team. Yeah, you got to have a code to get in. The code is be safe. And I didn't say that to you or anyone, but that's what the code is. And they all agree.
No what you're
Lucas Bouchard.
You're not telling the truth, right? You're doing a bit.
Lucas Bouchard has been bad since day one.
You're doing a bit though.
He probably is a murderer.
You're doing a bit
The fish?
that there's a subreddit.
I don't know,
Okay.
Bran. Code word be safe.
May and Frickum finally kiss. Cut to Jax.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's bumped. He tries to get Jeanette. Lucas tries to get Jeanette to leave and insists that he's not a bad guy anymore. I've left that behind. But before she leaves, she does bump into Elizabeth. They meet, and it's awkward. Nathan comes over that night. Knock, knock, knock. It's nighttime. Whatever could he want but to talk and to give her an egg. The egg is from earlier in the episode. She was trying to get this egg, put it up high, fell off a bucket. He caught her a whole moment. He then brings this egg and is like, hey, you risked your life for this egg. The least I could do is give it back to you. They have a little moment, but they are interrupted by baby Jack saying stuff. And Lucas is looking at papers and sees an old picture of him and Jeanette. And that, my friends, was
When Calls the Heart, Season 11, Episode 4, Along Came a Spider. We did it.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and we will break this episode down here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back, everybody. It is When Calls the Heart, Season 11, Episode 4. Recapping it, breaking it down. Let's do that with the hot take part of the show where we share exactly how we felt about this episode, and I'm going to kick it over to my friend Jax. Jax, what'd you think of Episode 4?
Okay, I enjoyed this one. I thought baby
Okay.
hot take.
Okay, here we go. I'm ready for this. The spin cycle we're about to go in here. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'd love to hear this.
Baby Jack, this is the best we've seen him. And yes, this is one of my feels, but when he was like, oh, but it's like you're everybody's mommy at school, I was like, this kid is firing all cylinders. He's a great actor. What's that, Baby Jack?
What's that?
I thought
Baby
Bram
Jack,
was going to talk.
Yo, what's up, Jax? Love you, baby girl. What's up?
Baby Jack, would it come to your surprise that I had a different opinion of Baby Jack in this episode?
Nah, man, you a monster.
You monster.
You're the monster inside of my head and right next to me.
Yeah, right.
Eminem, shout out, new album.
That's a Slim Shady. That's
You're
right.
the Slim Shades.
That's exactly right.
It's so good to see you, Baby Jack.
Love
I
you.
thought you were excellent in this episode.
Thank you.
Overall, this is an episode that especially Team Nathan has been waiting for because Kevin McGarry gave us the Easter egg that the Easter egg of the season was, in fact, Easter egg. He is very clever like that.
Yeah, code word
And
be
we're
safe
seeing-
there. That's the
And we're seeing that this Easter egg symbolizes their relationship. I'm not sure. The metaphor kind of gets a little bit lost here and there when she's like, well, the chocolate egg isn't really worth it. And then she's like, yes, it is. And I'm like, it reminded me of when Harry met Sally, when
How dare
Sally's saying to Harry, am I the dog? Well, actually, you know what I'm saying.
How dare
Am
you.
I the dog? Am I the dog?
Yeah.
I'm like, who's the chocolate egg? What's happening? But there is quite a bit of chemistry between Elizabeth and Nathan this episode. I'm here for it. You know I'm here for a May and Hickam kiss. And it wasn't just one kiss. It was a double pump kiss, which I enjoyed.
double pump.
Overall, I thought this episode was a good one, although I am confused about the fact that we lined up the eclipse and the planets aligning, but Easter, we were just like, forget
That's right.
about it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
This episode is fine ultimately. I'm starting to feel like maybe we might get what I'm asking for. This movie, it is clear that there's no way in the world that Nathan, and I'm saying this and I'm crossing my fingers too, because when Calls the Heart can always find a way to surprise me. But there's no way we get to the end of this season without Nathan and Elizabeth kissing. There's just no way. There's no way.
If you say it one more time, it's like Beetlejuice. I'm pretty sure that it will happen. They won't.
There's no way. When he caught her, when she opened up the door and it was him that was knocking at the door, guys, just let's do this thing. Stop acting as if there's a chance that she's going to somehow end up back up with Lucas. Even in this episode, when the whole thing happened with the spider, it didn't even seem like she cared. It's like, whatever.
That was so 4 months ago.
And so I'm just like, let's do the thing. Stop acting as if there's even a chance that they're not going to end up together. Next episode, let's kiss. Let's get there. Let's do this thing. We're still on a possible train, possible wagon for them to kiss next episode, be married by the end of the season. Let's do this thing. Let's stop messing around. I know it might not be, but let's just do this thing. Let's do this thing. Let's make it happen, because there's no reason not to. The sparks in 4 episodes are so heavy with these two when they're on screen. It is nuts. We do not need to do another full season, and at the season finale, it's like, oh my gosh, they kissed, amazing. Let's do it. Kiss next episode, married by the end of the season. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
I'm not surprised by Jax. I'm shocked that you were
fine.
Like, this is like frog in boiling water territory. They just have turned the water up a little bit at a time. This is easily the worst episode of this season. It's
worse than the first one?
Yes. And I'll tell you why it's worse than the first one. Because the first one moves a plot forward and promises intrigue. The best case scenario for this show, and I think we all agree here, is that Bill and Rosemary are solving a murder for half of the episode. That's what we want. And in this episode, you get one scene of that where, thanks to your synopsis, they establish something we've already established for 3 straight episodes. I wrote down, even Baby Jack is annoying in this episode. Nothing, guys, I know that on When Calls the Heart, nothing happens. But that's not really true. We say nothing happens because we're bored. But things happen. They just move at a snail's pace. In this episode, when it comes to any of the 3 major plates that we're spinning, that we've talked about, resort, murder mystery, and then what was the third one? Nathan and Elizabeth? Is that the third one that we decided on?
Yeah.
I guess something happens with Nathan and Elizabeth with that scene at the end, I guess. This is a classic where When Calls the Heart, we know nothing happens in a season, but we're in episode 4 of 12. We're gonna sprinkle in a little extra bit of nothing here. This was brutal. It's literally an Easter episode a month late. It's an Easter episode a month after Easter.
Happy Easter, by the way.
He is risen. Amen. He's risen indeed. I just couldn't believe this episode. Least favorite of the season. No. After the best episode of the season last week, least favorite of the season this week.
So you are saying that you liked last week's?
If that is one way to take it.
You're saying there's a chance.
Let's get to the feels where we talk about.
If I was Jax, that's how I would have said it. Last week's episode was my absolute favorite.
There you go.
Of this season.
Let's get to all the feels where we talk about what this episode gave us feels. Jax?
Well, I think we can all agree. I've got sexy feels for Jeanette. Boy, howdy. I like her. She's sashaying into town. There's too much wholesomeness in Hope Valley. I need a little darkness. I need a little intrigue. I need a little bit of villain energy, and she is bringing it. And I am loving it. Can't wait to see more of her. I got Baby Jack feels, as I noted before. Love you. I love you too, Baby Jack.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Baby Jack. A month late. I also am nervous for the Canfields writing this letter to their uncle. I am afraid this is going to go really poorly. And here's the thing with this.
Forgot that
I know
was a thing.
because it's
I didn't mention it. I'm sorry, everybody.
I didn't even make the synopsis.
I have nervous feels because I know this won't happen because it's When Calls the Heart, and it's going to be all lovely and joyful, and they'll reconnect, and it'll be beautiful. But there are some people that are better off not in your life, and maybe they've drawn a boundary for a reason, and I want to respect that. And these kids are writing this letter, and it's making me nervous that it's going to go awry. And finally, my final feel, you guys, Lily in her little bunny ears. Isn't she the cutest little gosh darn
Which
thing
one's
with baby
Lily?
Jack?
Is that Rosemary and Lee's kid?
No, that's Goldie.
That's Faith's new kid.
Lily,
Faith-
Goldie, Jackie. They're all
Faith's
E's.
niece. And she calls her Auntie Faith,
Oh, yes.
and she's the cutest thing ever,
Yeah.
and I just love her to bits.
Great.
I would like to read from When Calls the Heart
Thank you.
Facebook group. Nothing mean, but I appreciate the intrigue here. Diane says, after earlier seasons when Lucas seemed to have a questionable past, we were told by the writers that Lucas was a good guy. Now that he's being portrayed as having been maybe a shyster in the past,
A shyster. Okay.
but is he a changed man? So which is it? And then Maggie says, I believe that Lindsay Sturman watched the show from the beginning and saw why so many of us believe that Lucas was shady. And why we weren't satisfied just being told that he was good without a story backing it up. It is for that reason that I have never been a fan of his character, and I've always felt like there was something that we weren't being told.
I'm just
an
telling
excellent
you.
point.
Team Nathan subreddit, they get it, man.
An
They
excellent
understand.
point.
They understand how serious this is.
And Dan, you and I have talked about this in the past. The fish. The fish.
The fish.
What's going on with the
The
fish?
fish.
The
Need me say more.
The fact that we are finally maybe getting some closure or an opening back up, I don't know, of Lucas being a shady character. If we get a full turn and Lucas ends up that he's still shady or gets pulled back into the shady business, Dan, you and I were talking about during the show. Give me bad Lucas. Give me Chris McNally as a villain. Let's do some weird stuff. Maybe
Not Buddy.
Maybe he's pulled back in. Maybe he never really was.
What
I
you're
don't know.
describing is a better television show.
Let's do something crazy here. Let's get wild. And also, one more thing that did give me feels is I genuinely did giggle a little bit when Faith thought that she could participate in the Easter egg hunt. It was very funny, and I thought it was funny.
I'm happy you thought it was funny.
It was
I will say
funny.
this.
That would be me. I'd show to an Easter egg hunt and
You're
be like, "Let's
"What
go."
up?" Yeah.
Dano?
So the one thing that is feels
compete.
let her compete.
Let Faith compete. Let Faith compete.
Nobody cares enough about that storyline to chant
Let Faith.
anything.
Aaron, let Faith compete. Let Faith
Let
compete.
Faith compete.
Yeah, thanks.
All
guys.
right, whatever you say.
Yeah, you're the monster here.
That's right. I love the idea of making Lucas look shady, only to pull out the rug when Nathan is the shooter. That's good television.
Yeah.
When they bring back the possibility of this guy being shady, and then when we find out that Nathan is a hired gun to shoot Lucas, it's going to get real. And maybe Elizabeth will end up with the person that's best for her mental health. No one. Maybe when she realizes that Nathan has attempted murder on her former fiance, then not only will I be a huge fan of the television show, but also she will end up without needing another person. I think that's a win-win for everybody.
Well, I think we could all agree best case scenario, Nathan shot Lucas.
If Nathan shot
Right?
Lucas, that'd
That'd be the best thing that could ever happen to this show.
If Nathan shot Lucas and Faith and Fiona are a thing, Lindsay Sturman is the showrunner of the year. The showrunner of the year on television.
Would be phenomenal.
Cable, broadcast, anything. Nathan shoots Lucas, Faith and Fiona are a thing. It would be everything I could possibly want. And then I would get on the subreddits. I would get on the subreddits with a big bowl of popcorn and just laugh and laugh. It would be great.
Be phenomenal. That'd be phenomenal. Because then
maybe
Elizabeth
they
is-
make the dog mayor or something. Scout? I don't know.
is Bill.
Bill is acting mayor
Bill is
while
the mayor. Okay,
Abigail
great.
is gone. She paid him $300,000.
We'll be right back here, Dr. Oliver. she's done about as much mayor work as her daughter did rowing. I think it's right.
Man. You went to a quick break to make that joke go away. Nope, you piled on. I love it. Anything, Jax? Nothing? Just a
No. Actually, I'm impressed because I thought he went to a quick break to make it go away, as you noted. But then when he came back with it, I was like, oh, you were just.
That's right. It's a good setup. Nicely done.
It's time for the Wait What is where we talk about what in this episode made us go, wait, what? Jax?
Two big things. I thought Elizabeth was very charming in this episode mostly, but there were 2 instances of her being so controlling that it was actually maddening to me. When she's telling Lucas that what's-his-face, who's, our favorite character, can't wear the bunny suit, and she's like, I want smaller chocolate bunnies. And then she's telling Nathan not to hide the egg, high up in the air. I'm like, girl, you got to chill.
Yes.
You can't control every single gosh darn thing in Hope Valley. You're seeming type A and like really, really, it's too much. It's too much. Other than that, I really enjoyed Elizabeth in this episode. Like I was very charmed by her with the kids, with baby Jack, but that was too much for me. I was like, girl, you got to back off. And then
she also complains about Lucas doing something else, like something else.
She did.
What did she complain about?
What was it? She said it was too much.
Yeah,
the Easter
yes,
the speech,
and
everybody was complaining about it. Yeah,
and I ranted last week on her, and everything you said is exactly right. Like you're just not. It's just none of your business.
And I would say she's not being type A. She's actually type B because that's what she's being right now.
She's being a type A B.
That's
exactly a rare
right.
type.
Type A B. And I would not disagree. It's really it's actually hard to watch. I'm like, girl, you got to calm down. These are nice gentlemen, and they're only trying to make it fun for the kids. Like, what are we doing? And then the other thing, which you both alluded to already, but I actually thought was really funny was Hickam. The line he has about his sisters and like, oh, no one's paying attention to me at poker. But then when he's in the room with his sister and she's offering all these reasons why actually this might not work. And these 3 men are acting like she is ridiculous. And I'm like, guys, like you're kind of being type B's to her.
No. I did have that written down. This woman who is the mayor of a town does more in that scene as mayor than any of the Hope Valley mayors ever. She goes in, negotiates for the best possible deal for her town, and doesn't care if it was a clerical error or not. Like, she's great. She's strong. She's a good leader. She communicates well. These 3 dudes don't know what to do with her. They're wrong. She's right. Go Hickam.
Thank you. Yep. And I know that like her personality is like a bit salty and like that's kind of fun, but she's actually not doing anything outrageous in the scene.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, not even a little
bit.
It.
You're right.
I am a little bit.
I have a few. One, we've talked about how crazy it is that Easter was a month ago, and this is the episode we're getting. But I do want to point out that he is having an Easter address on a weekday morning. We know it's a weekday morning because school is a school day.
Now, Easter notoriously...
it is one of the...
notoriously...
We don't know the date always. It floats around.
But it notoriously does fall on a weekend.
On a Sunday,
Even a Sunday, you would
But
think.
the Easter address, that would be like the Queen giving Christmas speech on the 18th of December.
Right. That's exactly
We'll
what
do
it
it on
would
the 18th because everyone's busy.
Yes.
Everyone's busy on Christmas. And
we'll do it Tuesday morning.
Why do the Christmas speech on Christmas? Why do the Easter address on Easter? Because it's in the name. You can't, Lucas, if you want to bring the resort to Hope Valley and like maybe get some pushback from people that you're playing favorites, okay, that's your choice. At least it's going to bring, economic success to the town in which you love. But you gotta spread the wealth here. Like the Easter egg hunt, you gotta do it somewhere else. At this point, you have really made Hope Valley the favorite here. And the Easter egg hunt, it doesn't matter. You can do that anywhere. And he still chose, this is the second thing in his, I don't know how long he's been mayor at this point, but the second thing in a row that he's only doing for Hope Valley. You can't keep doing that.
It would be like if George W. Bush was like, everything is in Texas all the time. Or like Barack Obama was like, all of my speeches will be in Chicago.
Yeah, that's where
or if like Donald Trump was like, I'm going to give tax cuts to just rich people. It would be like, what if any of those things were to happen?
So Lucas also when he sees Jeanette comes in and is like, wow, this is crazy. And Jeanette says, you used to love surprises. And Lucas says, yeah, but only when I was the one doing the surprising.
That's not fair.
That's not fair, sir. You don't dish it out if you can't take it, Mr. Man. Lucas is a bit of a Willy Wonka in this episode, and let me explain. He's walking around with a crutch. He's handing out chocolate, and he's just kind of being weirdly suspicious. And when anyone questions him about it, he's like, "Good day, sir."
I said good day.
He is Willy Wonka, and I'm convinced, and I support that turn from him. I think that's fun. Last but not least, it's just good to see that Baby Jack is still in the business of interrupting big moments. It has been a while since we heard "Mama" from the back room.
Yep.
And it's just good to know he's still doing that, even though, can he talk in full sentences? Can he walk? Can he come and get her? Yeah, it can. But from the other room, he's still just yelling, "Mama," and that's nice. It's been a while. Dano?
I'm surprised with all the stuff that Lucas is doing as governor for people that none of the Team Nathan people have asked how they're going to pay for everything. No one's asked where all the money's coming from, which is nice. Maybe we all just agree you should help people. I don't know. Are we to understand Bill Avery doesn't want to attend a meeting? Is that what I'm supposed to believe?
Loves meetings.
Can I tell you what I think happened? They filmed that scene with Hickham's sister. Jack Wagner either not available or they forgot that he's the mayor of the town. They filmed it. They locked it. It's done. And they realized Jack Wagner not in it. Bill Avery would 100% be in this meeting, like he's in every important meeting in this town. He is a Mountie / sheriff / mayor, and he's not in it. So then they film another scene where they're like, "Meeting? I would never." And so now you've got Bill Avery who's like, "God, I hate a meeting." That's like all he does. That's his whole thing. He lives for a meeting. The guy lives for a meeting. He lives for, you know that guy. He lives for a meeting. He does. Am I wrong, Jack?
No, you're totally right. I just love picturing what was happening.
Yeah.
Like either on set that day when they're like, "Oh shoot, we don't have Hickham's sister anymore. She's off and gone. We didn't do that scene. Okay, how can we make this work?" And just the scramble that I mean, it's chef's kiss imagining what was going on behind the scenes, because you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it was wild. I was taken aback. We did confirm my biggest fear, which is if you are a former Mountie, you can in fact just call and get any murder file you would like from the big boss Jenkins down the street. If you ever wore the red serge, like that's a horror movie, guys. That's a horror movie. Imagine if anyone that was ever a policeman could call and get any file they wanted. Are you kidding me? That's terrifying. And Bill Avery just does it like it's just a Monday. Mondays when
are we sure they can? I honestly assumed they could.
Oh, it's like Monday I call and get old cold cases, even though I have nothing to do with them. And Tuesday, the Easter address is delivered. That's what happens.
Well, technically, we can get anything. It's just heavily redacted.
Correct.
Yeah.
He can just get a murder file.
Yes.
That is not heavily redacted.
Yeah, we could also, but just it wouldn't.
That's right.
That
has been once it's been cleared.
Yes.
And is made available for public consumption. Yes. At one point, I believe it was, is it Hickham's sister? Someone has the gall. Lindsey Sturman, you know how to fix this season. Someone has the gall to say the line, "None of you have ever considered the downside of this resort." Have you met season 10? Have you met it? Have you met the entire season where we're mad about a resort? Have you met it? Every character waxes poetic about how they don't want a resort. And for someone to say, well, we never thought that there was a downside. What? No. And also the fact that Lucas is still in town and it appears he'll be staying there for the foreseeable future is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. We know that he's governor of a territory, and we know that territory is at least 15 hours away in its longest stretch from Hope Valley. You cannot stay in one random city the whole time. You can't do it. That's all I got.
It is time for Hopes and Valleys. This is where we talk about things that are giving us hope for the future and or bumming us out. Jax?
I'm hopeful May's going to meet Hickham's mom. I think that's going to be a whole lot of fun. bumming me out, that it's such a short season this year. We just need more.
What? What did you say? I thought you froze there. Did you say we needed more?
I just wanted your reaction.
Okay.
I just wanted to see what it did for you guys. I'm not actually too afraid of anything. I'm open-hearted, open-minded about what's to come, but I do not want a wedding this season. So that's where.
For what reason? Give me one reason.
So we can have it next season?
It feels very rushed to me.
Yeah.
I like a courtship. I like a long courtship. I'm 8 years.
They've been unofficially courting for years now.
True. That is true. But he was her side piece.
But they have been. I want to be very clear, and I remind listeners I remind viewers of this show every year when we do this television show. At this point, they have now been going through this back and forth on When Calls the Heart longer than they have not. True. There were 5 seasons of Elizabeth and Jack.
Wow.
That's right. Nathan and Lucas show up in season 6. Season 6 and 7, love triangle. Season 8, she chooses Lucas. Season 9, they get engaged. Season 10, she dumps Lucas. Now we're in season 11. They have been doing this utter nonsense longer on this show than they have not been doing it. It's just crazy.
That does hit. That does hit. So longer, yeah, that does. Yeah.
So we can speed it up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
My hope, we get a kiss next week. If we get a kiss next week, I will come on here and I will say this is the best television show of all time.
Best TV show of all time.
I'll take my shirt off. We'll have a big party. Wow. There'll be confetti all over the place.
All right.
Nice and tan.
Kiss next week. Let's do this thing. Dano?
Fran, the way you say kiss is now sounding like the way you say flirt. Can you say kiss and flirt together?
Kiss and flirt. If they were flirting and kissing.
Next week, they're going to flirt the whole episode and they're going to kiss at the end of it.
Oof. I hate it.
Ooh, I hate it too.
Okay.
I do want to say, just as a sidebar, I am serious that I think Nathan shot Lucas, but in understanding that probably won't be the case. If at the end of this season, Elizabeth realizes it's neither of them, that would also make me very, very happy. I don't think that will happen either, but I just wanted to throw that out there. My sink, or as we say in this show, valley, my valley is Toby, the character of Toby. This is going to sound like I'm being mean, and I'm not. I'm really mad that they made him good at math. They had an opportunity to go, you know what, bro? Math isn't your strong suit. And the good news is in 1920, probably even more so than today, you don't need it. You can go and be creative. He's clearly creative. He's clearly artistic. He clearly has a lot to give the world. He's clearly has areas of expertise that I don't have as someone that likes math. Instead of encouraging this kid to pursue excellence in the field that he loves and his passion, we try to backdoor it back to math. Why? Just let the kid not be good at math and go, we'll get you through it for the sake of the report card, but you don't have to be good at math, buddy. And that's okay. For some people, math just isn't your strong suit. But instead, it's like you made this beautiful egg. Look at that. You divided fractions. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. There you go.
We did it this time for the What's Called My Heart, is where somebody emails in something that's making them happy, calling their heart, and Dan reads it. Dan, who do we have today?
Email us hello@deckthehallmark.com. Tell us what's calling your heart. This is from Laura Schinner, or Laura S. even. Dear Brand,
Laura, you've been forgiven.
Jax, and maybe even Brian.
Because Schinner. I thought it was funny.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Amen.
What's calling my heart is the return of Double Decker of the Week. While Brian may not be my panda, he sure has taken his deep diving just as seriously as Panda did. It's a joy to see someone from this wonderful community highlighted each week for their unique ideas. I laugh daily listening to the pod, but never more than during this segment, although the When Calls the Heart episodes are a close second. Can't wait till the day my brilliant idea, business, or invention is shared with everyone. Might just take us all by surprise. Sincerely, Laura Schinner. Very nicely done, Laura.
Love Laura.
Directions, not tragedies. We're back tomorrow with another episode. Jax, you're the best. Until then, maybe we're the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
The Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.